Hey folks, Vic here with your weekly trade video for Friday, February the 16th, 2024. The trade in this video was based entirely on Darko's pre-market analysis video where he shows traders in advance where he has a pending order. Okay, and I once again want to prove to you that even if you have a small account size, or say you don't want to have a large initial pip risk, you can absolutely take on these longer term swing trades that Darko points out. Okay, now they won't always get filled, but when they do, boy, I mean, they can be absolute dynamite. And this trade has gigantic profit potential in it because it is a longer term, it's a swing trade. Okay, I first recorded this for our CC Starter members earlier this week, and the profit was as much as a 3-to-1 reward risk. It's still looking great. It's still going on. And remember, this is a long-term swing trade. It's not a scalp. We just use the smaller time frames for getting in for a small pip risk, for a small initial pip risk. Okay, so take a look at how you can apply the exact same approach that Darko teaches for longer-term trades for getting in using smaller time frames, making the initial pip risk very, very small. Geez, I sure hope to see lots of likes for this video. I think it's quite amazing how these trades can set up. It would really mean a lot if you would hit the like button to let us know that this kind of stuff has an appeal to you. Okay, so here is the video that I recorded just this past Wednesday that shows the setup. Hey folks, it's Vic Noble here, and I want to just point out another trade that Darko showed in his pre-market analysis video that would be maybe too much if you have a smaller account size, but what a fantastic trade it's turning out to be so far. If you follow along what I've been telling you about how to use smaller time frames to get into these longer term swing trades, and they can be really amazing trades. Now let me show you the trade here. This is on a New Zealand US dollar pair. Darko had a long bias on this because of his top down. So he watches the yearly chart. The yearly chart is really a fantastic chart to watch. It's new to me, actually. Darko introduced it. He back tested it and found that it really showed a great way to determine a yearly bias. And a yearly bias is great because when you get a buy signal on a higher time frame charts like the weeklies and monthlies and dailies, they can be extremely good signals. So what he saw here was like on the weekly chart at the end of last week, see this candle to end the week? You notice where it's at? This is a great level. Support in there, resistance here. It breaks it, comes back, support. I mean, this is really quite powerful. The advanced market, we'd had what's called a bullish rotation back to this level here. This candle here is quite a telltale candle. So usually that's just the odds of it, right? So because of all of this stuff, and if you look down at the daily chart here, the daily chart, do you agree that this is resistance and then comes back into support here? Like it's pretty darn good. It's a great level. So price comes back to it. It goes back up, tests this neckline, and comes back to it in here. And this is where it made that weekly ACAT I just showed you. That's called an ACAT, that big bullish candle action. So what do you do on this? So what Darko suggested to do on this is on our entry time frame, which is a 4-hour chart. And it's a 4-hour chart because we're basing this off of the weekly price action, this weekly bullish candle up here in the upper right. Okay, so you go to your 4-hour chart, and he was looking to buy a pullback right in here. Okay, now that buy was at about 60, 85, 88, something like that. And the stop was underneath here. And so it needed a stop of, let me just get this straight in here, of around at 60.13 or so. So that's about a 72 pip risk, which is quite a bit for a small account size. And I want to show you something. See this big spike down here? That is called red flag news. It was a red flag news, and we have very specific rules about trading around it. Now, for a longer term trade, even if you had taken this, you'd still be doing just fine right now. The price went against you, it's come back, and all that kind of stuff. But supposing you have a small account size, and when you have a red flag news, this is especially dangerous if you have a small account size. Do not trade around these levels. Okay, and Darko has some specific rules about what to do with red flag news. So how do we do it with a small account size? Well, you have to change your time frame combinations in order to find a smaller pip risk entry. Okay, so let's go to a scalping layout now. Now this way I've got a weekly, daily, 4 hour, and 15-minute, because when we get a 4 hour level hit, we can then use our 15-minute chart for entry. Okay, so let's just bring up this 4 hour chart. Here is that big, huge spike down that we saw. Okay, look where it went to, right here. Okay, is that a good level? It's a fantastic level. There it is on the weekly chart again. You can see it up here, in upper right. That's a weekly level. Pardon me, daily. I'm sorry, that's daily, not weekly. And it's a weekly level over here. Resistance, pardon me, support, resistance, and support. Okay, so that is a very, very good level. Now, when price came down on the 4 hour chart, right? Do you think this is a good level? It's a fantastic level. Will it hold? Who knows? We always let price tell us. This is an ACAT candle right there. And we have rules for how you get in when you see one of these things. And in this case, you go down to a 15-minute chart. Okay, that's our entry time frame. And the entry was right down here. And this is not, these are objective rules. I can't make this up. Okay, it was a buy down here at 60.55. The stop needed on this, 10 pips. 10 pips. This has been up about 36 pips as I'm recording this. That's a 3.6 to 1 reward risk. Remember, this is a long-term trade. Can you imagine the profit potential in this? I mean, you're using Darko's PMA to get into a long-term trade on smaller time frame charts. It's already a very, very nice profit, but keep an eye on what happens with this pair. It could become a huge, huge winner. Okay, and listen, these happen. I'm not saying they're all winners. I'm saying that you get trades like this, and they do happen. And in fact, I'll show you something. If price gets up to the next, let's go back to our 4 hour chart here. If price just makes it back up into this neckline, which is the, where it all went down from, if it just made it up into here on this 4 hour chart, you're looking at about a 9 to 1 reward risk. 9 to 1. It hasn't even begun to get going. So that's a huge profit potential. We'll see. Certainly not a losing trade at this point. It's up real nicely. And that, folks, is the beauty of following Darko's long-term trading. It's like, you can find trades like this that are longer-term trades that can be entered with very, very small pip risk, and in this case, like just 10 pips. Okay? Geez, if you have any aspirations at all of becoming a consistently profitable trader, hopefully this video inspires you a little bit and shows you just how lucrative it can be. Like I say, I know there's losses from time to time. I don't want to ever say there's not. Of course there is. But if you manage your trades properly, you will be in very good shape. All right? Any questions, just let me know. Thanks. So there you go. A pretty cool trade, isn't it? And like I've said, they don't always get filled on the smaller time frames if a pattern never sets up. But so what? You definitely will get filled on lots of these, and even just one of these trades, for in the entire month can give you a very, very nice monthly return. Like if this trade does end up going to that 4 hour level that I point out in the video for a 9 to 1 reward risk, that would be a 4.5% return on your account. Okay, just for this one trade, based on an initial account risk of 0.5%, which is what we recommend. Pretty impressive in my book. Okay, and of course it's got a lot more potential than that even. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care.